Ghost hunting can be very exhausting, so we figured before we head out tonight to investigate at the Cresson Sanatorium, we would power up with some chocolate. So we stopped at the Boyer Candy Factory outlet and see what they got for goodies to... Here, man, you get a case of Mellow Cups for $21. There's a cool looking hoodie. Think that would work tonight?
Yeah, okay.
Bounce it off the walls?
Yeah. Diabetic coma.
Yeah. Basically, the factory here makes Boyer candy and all sorts of different types of chocolate, and then what they can't sell or what's to the public, but still good for us to consume, they discount it, and you can buy it by bulk.
I know the expectancy of life was 25%.
If you were infected.
If you were infected, you had a 25% chance that you were going to live.
Wow.
That's that much. So
no, you didn't have much hope.
That's why it was so. A lot of people went in there very depressed because
they knew what the outcome
they knew what it was going to be. But this place was a beautiful place. It was a beautiful place, and they tried their best to comfort these people, you know. Like, the first thing they did when they walked in the door was they gave them a brochure, radio, and something else.
Headphones?
Headphones. So they could have music and stuff to help soothe them.
Right.
They were trying to help people, but they were horrendous. Getting your lungs cut out, or getting your ribs cut out and deflating your lung. That's what they would do.
And then they closed it in 1964 and converted it to a mental hospital. And it was a mental hospital until the 80s when the state took it over and made it a state prison. And then that finally closed in 2015. So it has had its fair share of history.
The trifecta.
Although new forms of treatment are bringing added hope, proper food and rest and plenty of fresh air remain the essentials for the cure of tuberculosis.
Have you ever had any experience down in the tunnels of any kind?
I have. The tunnels, it's more residual in my thing. It's a lot of chatter, like working chatter, coming from either end, not exactly where you're at. But
And that's what they've heard down there before.
Yeah.
You're not just so much, almost like a disembodied voice.
Yeah.
Or,
it's just conversation.
Yeah,
It's not
just-
anything threatening. We were standing down there one night and just heard people talking up at Building 5 in the basement of that one, and then had another couple footsteps walking up towards us. It's a lot of footsteps down there as well as just distant chatter.
Yeah.
Building 7, before it was the morgue, it was the children's playhouse as well.
oh,
So
really?
there was children up there. It used to not be 2 stories. They put the top floor on when they turned it into, after the mental asylum and
Right.
the state school took over, they turned it into a surgical ward. And so it was 1 story at one point, and it was an open air.
What
playground
building
area. Building 7.
Yeah.
It was
Oh.
the morgue. You can't tell it was the morgue anymore 'cause since the prison turned it into a maintenance building.
Yeah.
But you can feel it when you walk.
Yeah, definitely.
You can feel it. It's on the bottom floor. If you go on the bottom floor all the way back is where the morgue was. But the door's locked, but you can tell.
The energy's still there.
Absolutely. Their energy lingers everywhere on this
Yeah.
campus. Mhm.
Yeah, coming through the gate, it was just like hitting a wall.
Yeah.
It was like,
Mhm.
they were watching us
Yeah.
come in.
They
If
do.
that makes sense.
Right.
That's the feeling I got.
They all eyes on you when you're
Yeah.
there.
My name is Matt Portman. I am the hydroponic coordinator for Hydroponic Life and the safety coordinator for Cresson Sanatorium. Approximately 25% survival rate was given to most of the patients that came up here. Back in those times, one of the primary treatment opportunities was the fresh mountain air treatment.
Yes,
And they would literally place the patients in Adirondack chairs in front of monstrous windows, open that up to the outside, that way they can breathe the cool, crisp mountain air. The facility was very large overall to accommodate the thousands and thousands of patients that were up here. Many patients have lived here with debilitating mental and physical disorders, and through the course of that time period, there have been approximately over probably 60,000 people up until about the 1970s.
Okay.
After the 1970s, leading into the 80s, this place was converted to become more of a prison. Yeah, Building F is a very good hotspot because of particularly how many people have passed on in that building alone.
Okay. So all that energy's still there. It went somewhere. You know, it's created, it can be formed, but it's never destroyed.
Yes. In the sanatorium days after the tuberculosis era, there was a fire on the property that ended up killing a couple of people, I believe. Over the course of the years of this being a tuberculosis hospital, a mental and physical asylum, and a prison, there have been an enormous amount of fatalities and people who have lived here over time. And this primarily leads to the fact that this place does hold a lot of activity as far as the paranormal community is concerned. And the story goes that this gentleman was working at one end of the hall in a room,
Okay.
and his partner was working at the opposite end of the hall in another room. They had a radio playing, it was plugged into the wall, and it was playing for a while, and then you heard a thud. The radio was unplugged, laying face down. And the electrician thought, "Oh, like what's going on?"
Right.
He looked down the hall, thought he saw his friend, and he's like, "Oh, he's messing with me." He plugs it back in, turns the radio back on, and then just a couple minutes later, the radio is face down on the floor again, unplugged.
Wow.
And this time he thought he caught him. He jumped out to the doorway. He thought he was going to catch him running back down the hall. This hallway was long enough. There is no physical way that this friend would have made it to the other end of the hall. And he yelled out to him, "Hey, like, what's the deal?" And he says, "What do you mean?" The electrician says, like, "You're unplugging my radio." And right about then, this electrician says it felt like death had come over him, as that he got very cold, numb. He couldn't move. And he said something was there. And he tried to break free, but he had trouble actually getting out of the room.
They had it over one.
At this point, when he did get away, he started bolting down the hall, screaming to his friend, "Get out of here, get out of here." He started running down the stairs, and his friend is freaking out as well because he doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
As they're rounding the stairs down towards the Slam Gate CO, which is at the end of the commissary building, they hear above them coming down the railings as the purlins going along the railing. They hear tick, 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 tick behind them.
Like chasing them.
Chasing them.
This is building 6.
This is the top end of building 6 going down to the Slam Gate. They start screaming to the Slam Gate CO. They say, "Open the door, open the door." And he's looking around to make sure they're not being chased by inmates. So he opens the door, they come flying out, he slams the gate shut, and all 3 of them had testified to this, that is just about as he slammed the gate shut, after about 30 seconds later, this enormous thud hit it and shook the whole gate. That's one of the instances that makes me think, because that happened
There's
to
3
other
people that witnessed it.
Yeah.
You know, the same thing happened to all 3. Same 3 people seen the same thing.
Like a Scottish castle.
Yeah, it was a Scottish castle.
Yeah. That, at first, it almost acted as like a summer home for his mother, and then
So that's okay.
And over the years, it turned into an administration building. Particularly, the chapel was used for families to come in and view their deceased relatives in the tuberculosis era.
I did
The
not know
tunnels led to the morgue, the chapel, and then to the basically externment out to the graveyards.
Hey guys, it's Mike from Southern Eat Paranormal. We're coming to you live from Cresson, Pennsylvania. Me and Matt arrived yesterday late, got settled down for the night, and about 4 o'clock we headed up the mountain to the Cresson Sanatorium. And we are currently ready to go into Building F. This is Nerve Central. We had to get a van so we could carry all the equipment around because it's such a big campus and spread out so many buildings. Once everything's set up so far, we have some cameras and some of the other buildings set up. Just a quick history. This was built in 1916 as a tuberculosis center. It was donated by Andrew Carnegie. So this is what we normally see when we investigate. There's still a little bit of light from Matt's camera, but this is what we normally walk into. We use IR lights and some other special lighting so we can see in the dark. But there's Julie and Mark. They're from Schaefer's Full Steam Ahead in Altoona, PA, hobby store. They brought up some equipment to run around, and they have their stuff right here. Yeah. There's a RC car outfitted with a light, and there's a camera on top. They can run around and film stuff, and we can be outside the building. So we're going to try that here in a couple minutes. When you entered the hospital, if you were diagnosed or needed treatment, you had about a 25% chance of living. And the reason they built these sanatoriums in these areas, because they thought then the fall crisp air or the fresh air and the sunlight would help heal. And it really didn't until they come up with the antibiotics and treatments to heal the sick. But it was there until about 1964, and then the state obviously owned it, and they changed it into a mental hospital to treat mental health and some disability patients.
and then it continued as that for a while till 1984, and then it converted into a state prison. I'm not sure what level of security it was, but I know mid-level security, and a lot of people here basically were not suited for normal prison life, so they had to be set here so they could get some special care if they had special needs and stuff like that. If this is your actually first time viewing one of our live feeds, I welcome you. We try to do this every time we do a live investigation or an investigation. We're up here filming episode 4, so there's a lot going on. But is there an upstairs in here?
There's an upstairs.
Okay, well, how about this? Probably enough of me talking. Let's go upstairs. As you can see here, I want everybody sort of to see what kind of condition the building is in. What's really neat, the guy was telling us, is when it was the TB center, they would actually use the chapel as a funeral home because they didn't want people coming into the center and possibly getting infected with TB. So they would take the people from building 7 in the tunnels over to the Grace Chapel, and they would be able to have their proper funeral and viewing there. Or I guess viewing, not funeral. Mike has a good idea. Let's get down here. We brought a REM pod up. I got the spirit box. Which one were you talking about?
Back room back here. Looks like an older part of the building. This is probably where they sat outside and tried to get.
Okay, yeah, back to that. You can see here I'm trying to give you some light. Here's like a day room, but you can see the windows, how they would open up out to the sun and to the fresh air.
They come in contact with it.
It's a REM pod.
You can
Yep, see how?
you can get some yes or no questions off of it.
Just want to make our presence known on mic. Now we're going to change in temperature, but we've got some broken windows in here. So it's that little red light flashing means there's a change in temperature. That's why it's making that noise. Let me get an EMF detector out. But anyways, we're here to communicate with anybody that still may be here. If you would like to come out and talk to us, we would really love to hear from you. We don't mean any harm. We're not here to judge. We're sorry for anything that bad. If anything bad happened to you while you were here, if you passed while you were here, we're sorry that you're still here. We hope maybe with communication, you can take that step forward and move on. That's another sensor. That's the change in temperature. Again, we're inside. These are stone buildings that hold heat. We have broken windows, so that could be sending that temperature off. So I have an EMF detector here right now, set up at 66 degrees, all zeros. If there's anybody in this room with us right now, or in this building that would like to come and talk to us, we would love to interact with you. Like I said, sorry if you were here and passed and you're still stuck here, but we would love if you would interact with us. If there's something you can do, set this off like that, to let us know that you're here or make a noise. Can you do that for us? I'll get out of the way.
Just to let y'all know, I know I'm behind the camera, but I have a still frame camera that I'm running. This camera was at 85% when I came in here. It's dead.
Killed it completely.
Killed it completely. We've been having that problem
All night. We've had numerous malfunctions. And the owner of this place, when we did our briefing earlier, he said, don't be surprised if you have a lot of camera malfunctions, a lot of issues with batteries. Okay, I'm holding a device in my hand that we can hear you talk through. I'm going to come over here. I don't know, did it? Did you just say help me? We can hear you talk. If you want to hear your voice, or if you want us to hear what you have to say, you can talk through this device and we can hear you. Is there something you want to tell us or help you with? Room. Oh. Are you in there? Can you make a noise for us? Move your arm. Wave at me. Lift your arms up so I can see you. Lift your arms up.
Can you put them up over your head?
You look like you're sick. Are you in distress? Do you not feel well?
We're upstairs right here.
Okay.
Should go to the third floor, right? Can you see with that on?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to blind you with this light.
Yeah, this is just going to the same building. You need to go across the hall to wherever you're at. Or we did interviews.
I didn't know if it cut across. They should.
Maybe this way it does. What was that?
I don't know. I heard something.
Oh, debunked. That was us walking, moving the see?
Yeah. Yep.
That was us walking, moving the foul panels.
Oh. Okay, that's me. It sounded like somebody blew in my ear.
Oh, it was yourself.
Yeah, it was me blew in this back and forth. I guess so.
Is anybody up here that worked in the prison? We'd like to hear from you. There's more cells here. See the cells.
We haven't even been over here.
No, but I should have got the SLS. Want to set up the GS2 down that way?
Yeah. We shut this door.
I invite you to come out and talk to us. We're not here to judge you, make fun of you. We don't care why you're even in prison. We're here to listen. Can you walk out of your cell into that red light? It ain't gonna hurt you. But that'll just let us know that you're here.
That's kind of weird.
What's that?
The blue lights fluctuating.
Are you coming near us? Keep coming closer. Yeah, it keeps trying to set itself up.
Did you just take a deep breath?
No.
You didn't go.
Huh. Did you hear something?
Yeah. You go.
Did you hear something?
Yeah. I got it.
Plug the battery.
picking something up?
You getting closer? Come closer.
Picking multiple things up.
We have the laser grid set up. You can see here, anytime that laser is broken on the screen, you'll see the lights flash up. Come closer to us, you can see how the lights are flashing and the top will turn colors too as it gets closer. Who's all here with us right now? Can you come closer to us? Can you make that device go off? Make it beep. Come towards my voice.
It's never done that before. It throws a good beam.
Should. Can you walk through the red light from one cell to the next? All the doors are open, you're free to go in and out. Does anybody want to tell me what they were in prison for? What kind of crime you committed? You picking anything up? Come closer. Walk through that beam of light, it won't hurt you. Can you tap on your cell door to let us know that you're at least here? Or are we bothering you since it's lights out?
Can you knock on the cell like this? I don't know what that was
Where?
in my ear. I don't know if that was a,
Bug or you or?
it sounded like a whisper, real low. Almost like a what or a something. I've heard a.
Are you whispering in Matt's ear? Are you around us right now? Come back and talk to us. Don't just walk past.
I'm not from here. I'm from South Georgia. Tell me a little bit about this place. I'm very curious of the history of this place. Did y'all have good food here? Was it cold here?
I'm about ready to die.
That might be the wrong words to say.
You can see Matt starting to get affected by the energy upstairs.
What'd you hear?
I don't know. Like shuffling or moving.
Well, it's nighttime.
Like when I put that chair in there. See anything?
Mm-mm. Why don't you come out and talk to us? Are we disturbing you? Is that your room? We didn't mean to put the chair in there. We can take it out if you'd like us to.
I'm gonna move the chair out of the way for you. And put it in this one. This is a lot bigger cell right here. Is that better? I don't know. I don't know if that was the chair settling or something when I moved it. It's so sensitive. It's
Yeah, you hear everything.
like I could hear you moving the wires on the camera down there.
Jesus.
My bad.
Jesus. Now, if you weren't awake, now you are.
All right, look, there's just that one.
Dot. You just lit up blue. You didn't see the blue dot. There you come. Come on. Come down here and talk to us.
Did we wake you up? Go.
What?
Trigger agent. Shank.
What do you want?
You want a shank? Walk over there and pick that up. You don't get too many chances for that. Look at that.
Come closer. Make that light up. You're doing a good job.
Pick that knife up.
Cold. And as it lights up, it gets closer. As they break the grid, it lights the lights up.
Come closer to us. Say something. Talk to us. That's a lot. Make a sound.
reading 50s.
If you're here, make a sound. Oh, yeah, that thing's just lightning. If you want us to leave, make this go off, and we will pack this up and leave. All you have to do is walk towards us. I'll leave that knife here if you can make that go off. And you can do whatever you want to with it. I'm assuming it's right in the middle of the hallway.
Getting closer, you can see that blue getting darker up top. Is the grid partially blocked up there?
Don't look like it.
Okay, maybe just the angle I'm at. Keep coming closer. There you go.
Or is that a year? I'm telling you, if you can make that go off, if you can make that go off, I will leave that knife here for you. If you can tell me what cell you're in, I will put that knife in that cell and leave it. All you have to do is speak to me through this microphone. Seems like it likes it when I talk. Do you like my accent?
Southern boy? Anybody from the South in here by chance?
Let me take your picture. I'm taking my knife back. Since you can't give us no, since you can't talk to me. You can't give me no interaction. This is your chance. Was that you? You moved? No. It was right next to me. Are you down here? It's either there or there.
Here, come touch this green. Come touch this green light I have. I said it right here.
F showing. Oh, there it is. Are you coming up and down the stairs? I heard footsteps.
It made me move.
They come up on.
Like, I don't know if it was coming up them stairs or if it was coming out of there.
Yeah, that's stairs and upstairs. Makes sense, huh?
Temperature dropped. What? That window's closed.
Can you touch that green light?
I don't think you can do it. All right, well, fuck it. I'm out.